Hi, and welcome to Noise Vortex. Today's video is a collection of my most anticipated metal albums in 2021. For the sake of this video, I've organized these albums into groups of albums that are already confirmed or announced, albums that are likely to happen this year, as well as a little wishlist section at the end of this video. So let's get right into it. Starting with albums that have already been announced, first we have the new Ruins of Beverast album, The Thule Grimoires. Ruins of Beverast is a German one-man black metal death doom band project of Alexander von Meilenwald, ex-drummer of legendary German black metal trio Nagelfar, and the project's last album, Exuvia, came out in 2017. Exuvia, as Meilenwald has said, has been a sort of therapeutic album for him that he sort of just had to create and put out there, much like the project's first album, Unlock the Shrine, in 2004. And on Exuvia, the band moved into a sort of spiritual and esoteric kind of sound, though still very much black metal and death doom focused. And from what's been released in terms of tracks for the upcoming album, The Thule Grimoires, it seems that this sort of esoteric angle is sticking around, but musically, Meilenwald seems to be moving into a even more gothic and somewhat dark wave style, and these new singles seem to be a logical continuation of the type of sound that the project started on its last album. The Thule Grimoires is scheduled for the 5th of February 2021, and I'm really looking forward to it. Next up, we have AdNauseam with their upcoming second album, Imperative Imperceptible Impulse. This is an Italian avant-garde and technical death metal band which debuted in 2015 with their album Nihil Quam Vacuitas Ordinatum Est, which was a sort of Gorguts Ulcerate inspired tech death album. However, the band put their own spin on this school of technical death metal by using custom-made and DIY gear, which gives their music a really warm and organic sound, the sort of dusty, vintage atmosphere, and also by including classical instruments such as crooked strings and ominous keys, the band creates a really dreary and ominous, psychotic atmosphere in their music. And they're known for their technical and very perfectionist approach when it comes to creating music and getting the sound just right. So after almost 6 years, the band is now coming back with their second album, which is going to be out on the 12th of February. At the time of making this video, there is no new music out yet, just a teaser, but the album is announced and we're definitely going to get it, and I'm really looking forward to what they're going to do on this. Next up, we have another one-man black metal band with Midnight Odyssey from Brisbane, Australia. This project is primarily known for its massive, epic, 2-hour plus black metal albums. However, with their last album in 2019, In Tartarian Chains, band mastermind Dispata wanted to move to writing shorter albums, which still meant a 1-hour long album, but however, In Tartarian Chains was the first part of a trilogy of albums, the second of which is going to come out this year under the title The Golden Orb. There's no new music yet, no formal announcement, but we know that the album has been recorded, was supposed to be out last year, but had to be pushed back due to COVID, so this year it is. Next up we have Gojira. This is a legendary French progressive death metal outfit whose last album, Magma, came out in 2016. That was a sort of polarizing album, at least I wasn't too hot on it, to say the least. Just didn't get the same passion, ambition, and impact from that album. However, we do know that the band has been working on new material since then, and last year they released a new track, Another World, and though people have been calling it a budget global warming, which I can see, I did really get into the track with time because of how catchy it is, and the message, same as global warming, really resonates with me. The band has been working on new material for 5 years now, and I think it's known that they have something in store. It's just that there's been no formal announcement yet, but this year is probably going to be the year. Next up we have Mastodon, massive US sludge metal outfit. The band has been known to be working on new material as a follow-up to their 2017 album Emperor of Sand, which, looking back, I didn't give the credit it was due at the time, but it's definitely a solid entry in their discography, and I'm always interested in seeing where the band is gonna go next. So this year we might see a new album from them, and if we do, I'm really looking forward to it. Next up we have Artspire, Canadian tech death elite. The band last released an album in 2017 with Relentless Mutation, which saw the band move to a more songwriting focused approach, something that is often neglected in technical death metal. The band has been steadily working on new material since then. The new album is currently being recorded, and I'm really looking forward to what this band is going to do next. For me, they've been one of the best bands in the genre of the last decade, and I'm always excited to hear new music from them because of their insane technical abilities, and also, as they've proven with Relentless Mutation, ability to channel it into real songs. That's always great to hear in technical death metal. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. Next up we have der Viganfreiheit, one of Germany's best black metal exports. This band has been around for about a decade now, and their last album, Finisterre, came out in 2017 and saw the band move towards the blackest sound they've had since their debut album. And yeah, they've always put out good black metal albums, and I'm always interested in seeing where they go next. This band has been a real success story, and I'm always excited to hear new music from them, especially coming off of their 2017 album, which was their best, I thought, in a while. There's been no formal announcement yet, but the band has posted that the album is going to be recorded this year and also be out this year. So this year, look forward to it. New der Viganfreiheit album. Next up we have Cynic, legendary American progressive rock and metal band, which suffered 2 devastating losses last year, with ex-drummer Sean Reinert dying in January and Sean Malone, bassist of the band, passing away in December. Sean Reinert had previously left the band in 2015 due to personal and creative differences between him and guitarist and vocalist Paul Masvidal. So there has been a replacement drummer, but I'm not sure how the band is going to move forward without Sean Malone, which had a really distinct bass playing style, hugely influential bass playing style for progressive metal. But Paul Masvidal has been posting on his personal Facebook page that there is a new record coming out, though it's not clear if that is supposed to be more of his solo work or a new Cynic album. So we're gonna see about that. Next up we have Norwegian black metal veterans and co-founders of the second wave style of black metal, Darkthrone. Not even 2 years after their last album, Old Star, in 2019, the band has finished recording their next album, and it's gonna be out this year. Another quick one, Wolves in the Throne Room, coming back with a follow-up to their 2017 return, Thrice Woven. This is a Cascadian black metal band which has been one of the most important acts in that style of black metal, along with bands like Agaloch, and you know the names. And yeah, these guys have been working on a new album, and it's supposed to come out this year. And though I'm not the biggest fan of their output, I'm always interested in seeing what they do next, so I'm definitely looking forward to this one. Next we had a big announcement from German label Eisenwald, more black metal. They announced a whole bunch of albums for this year, and there are 2 out of this collection that I want to highlight especially. The first of which being Iskandr, Dutch one-man black metal band which released its second album, Oprosopon, in 2018. This was a really hypnotic, cold and somewhat medieval sounding black metal album that also had some atmospheric interludes and acoustic guitars. Really beautiful and fascinating album, and I'm interested in seeing where the band is going to go next, so this one I'm really looking forward to. And the second of which is Cantique Lépreux from the Quebec black metal scene. This band has 2 albums under their belt so far. Icy, passionate, melodic black metal. Looking forward to what they have in store for the next one. Next up we have an album that is not yet officially confirmed but likely to come out this year, It's a new 40 Watt Sun album, UK slowcore doom metal trio featuring Patrick Walker of Warning fame. I've always been a fan of Patrick Walker's work and his voice, really characteristic, one of the most characteristic voices in all of doom metal. And with this project he has been exploring a softer sound than what he did back in Warning, especially on the band's last album, Wider Than the Sky, in 2016, which had a really vast and atmospheric sound. And yeah, really looking forward to what the project's doing next. They've been teasing being in the studio, and it's been 5 years since their last one, so this year I think we're gonna hear new material from them. The next and longest segment of this video is my little wish list of albums that might come out this year, or that I hope are going to come out this year. The first band here is Slugdge, UK's most promising death metal band in my eyes. I've always been promoting them here on Noise Vortex because I think they put out really original, innovative, characteristic death metal with progressive, technical, melodic influences and some grindcore influences. And the band was originally a two-piece and had a bit of a breakthrough with their third album, Esoteric Melanchology, in 2018, after which they recruited Alan Cassidy of the Black Dahlia Murder on drums and Matt Lowe of Novena on bass. And I'm really excited to see what the band can do as a full lineup, though band vocalist Matt Moss has been affected by the COVID virus last year and he seems to be suffering from the after effects still, so there's no real telling if the band can make it this year, but I'm definitely hoping to hear something new from them in 2021. Another one I'm really wishing for is a new album by Vermin Womb, death grind trio featuring Ethan Lee McCarthy, most well known for his work in Primitive Man. This band was sort of like a death grind version of Primitive Man, which I have to say I always preferred. They're really crushing, extremely heavy and blown out sound that really sweeps you off your feet. The band had actually disbanded in 2018 but came back together in 2019. They've played some shows since then. I'm not sure, they haven't posted about actively working on new material, but I hope they've been working on it. And yeah, if they do, I hope we hear something this year. Another one I've been waiting years and years for is the debut album by MATRID, which is an international black metal supergroup, if you want to call it that, featuring a lineup that is really too good to be true, with DG of Misderming, Thorns of Bludos Nord, HV Lingdal of Wormlust, Alex Poole of Chaos Moon and Krieg, Jeff Rest Whitehead of Leviathan and Lurker of Chalice, and MKM of Aosoth and Antaeus. This band has only put out a 2-track EP in 2016, Transmutation of Wounds, which was really great black metal with fantastic dark ambient sequences, and they've been working on a debut album since then, and every year I'm hoping that this year is finally going to be the year. Next up we have HAMLIPA, a German post-black metal band with some depressive black metal influences. They made their debut in 2015 and I've been keeping my eye on them ever since. They last confirmed that a new album is coming in 2018, but there's been no real life sign from the band since then, but I'm hoping that this year is going to be their year. Next up we have badass UK sludge metal outfit Trudger. I very much enjoyed the band's debut Dormivelia in 2014, which was a fiery, rhythmic, passionate and depressive sludge metal album. The band teased being back at work on new material in 2018, but there have been no real life signs since. I hope they're still active, and if they are, that we get to hear some new material from them in 2021. Next up is another album I've been waiting forever for. This is the debut by French Cadaveric Fumes. This is a sci-fi space death metal band which has released a number of minor releases so far, with splits, demos, EPs, compilations, and most notably their 2016 EP Dimensions Obscure, which featured a very vintage and organic guitar sound, cinematic synth work, and was just overall a very original death metal EP. And I'm really excited to see what the band can do on a full album. They've been working on this for a very, very long time, and I really hope that we get to hear some new material from them in 2021. Next up is Plague Widow. This is a blackened death grind band from the US that has been supposed to release their debut album on Willowtip Records for quite a while now. The band has so far released a demo, a split, and a compilation, and their demo from 2012 is really why I'm putting all of my money on this band, because it was some of the most hateful, intense, and crushing death grind I've ever heard. From what I understand, there's been some relocating and switching out of band members over the years, so I hope the band is still working on their new material, and that this year we might get to hear some new stuff from them. And the last band in this collection is Wyrding. This is a US gothic doom metal band which is virtually unknown, so unknown in fact that they're not even on the Metal Archives, though I assume they wouldn't pass their filter either, because this band plays a very gentle and summery style of doom with soft guitars, hushed drums, rich textures, group clean vocals, and their self-titled 2014 debut was one of the most original and innovative doom metal albums I've ever heard, and I've been waiting for new material by them ever since. The band is supposedly still active, but there haven't been any real life signs of them working on new material in the years after that, so I'm hoping that we get to hear something from them in 2021. Alright, that's it from me. Please leave your most anticipated albums of 2021 in the comments down below. Genre doesn't matter. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing. If you do, remember to hit the bell so you get notified about new videos as they come out. Over here right next to me you can find my previous video with my top 15 metal albums of 2020, including honorable mentions. Thank you very much for watching, have a good one, and I'll see you next time.